Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so this time you sent us some pretty intriguing materials.
Yeah. What have we got?
It's from a Swiss company, Open Your Heart GmbH. They've got this, well, unique take on personal growth.
Okay.
We have excerpts from their GitHub wiki, which is interesting in itself, and their Holistic Solutions webpage.
Right. GitHub for personal development. Different.
Exactly. So our mission today, like always, is to kind of dig through this, pull out the key stuff, what they're about, their philosophy, services, and what really makes them tick, what makes them different.
Got it. Let's dive in. Where do we start?
Well, the founding story seems important. It was set up in 2023 by Andre Koban.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it came after a pretty major personal journey for him, which included meeting Amy Koban.
Oh, okay. So it's personal. It sounds like the company really grew directly from their own experiences, their own healing process, maybe.
Yeah, that's the impression. They talk about opening their hearts. It sounds like that experience is central to the whole thing.
Makes sense. And what's their main focus?
It's personal development, holistic well-being, and also relationship counseling. They're quite explicit about that.
Okay. Standard enough areas, but what's their specific angle?
Well, they mentioned their own journey involved exploring something they call gender realization.
Gender realization. How do they define that?
It seems tied into their core philosophy, which is, and this is where it gets distinct, it's all about the duality of masculine yang and feminine yin energies.
Ah, yin and yang. Okay, that's a familiar concept, but how are they applying it?
That seems to be the crux of it. They see this masculine-feminine split in everything, influencing energy dynamics, relationships, even like social structures.
But not just as metaphors, but as actual fundamental energies.
That's what it sounds like from the materials. They seem to view them as core energetic principles.
Interesting. And they mentioned something about energy flow.
Yeah, exactly. They describe a specific flow, energy moving from masculine to feminine.
From masculine to feminine. What does that imply? Like a giving and receiving dynamic.
It sounds like it. Like masculine energy provides something, and feminine energy receives or nurtures it. They present it as a key dynamic.
Okay. And how does this tie into the individual? You mentioned personal development.
Right. They break down the human being into three parts: soul, mind, and body.
The triad. Soul, mind, body, classic structure.
Yep. And they believe integrating these three is crucial for holistic growth, self-awareness, personal evolution, all that.
And the gender part fits in how?
This is a big one for them. They state that gender is the inherent essence of the soul.
Soul's essence.
Yeah. And they believe it's unchangeable.
Wow, okay. That's a very definitive stance on the nature of gender and the soul.
It certainly is. So that leads into their mission, right? Which is pretty broad.
Let's hear it.
Fostering holistic development, providing services for self-healing, empowerment, enlightenment, emphasizing the mind-body-soul connection, and even helping people align their work life, their professional path with their, core self.
That's quite ambitious. It's not just navel-gazing. It connects to career, too.
Right. And their vision, it goes even bigger.
Here, how?
They see this gender realization concept as foundational, not just for individuals, but for societal well-being.
Okay, societal impact.
They want to bring back what they see as ancient wisdom about these masculine, feminine energies, but for modern life.
Revitalizing ancient wisdom.
Yeah, and here's the twist. They aim to be leaders by blending this traditional stuff with modern tech, specifically AI.
AI. How does AI fit into ancient energy principles?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? But it's central to their vision for global accessibility and maybe optimizing their services. It's definitely a unique mix.
Bold is one word for it. Ancient wisdom and AI. Okay, so what services are they actually offering to achieve all this?
The list is pretty long. You've got personal development workshops, relationship counseling, energy healing sessions, soul path coaching.
Okay, covering a lot of bases.
Career coaching, alternative medicine approaches, mindset coaching, developing creativity, inner awareness, calmness techniques, holistic healing consultations. It's comprehensive.
Wow, yeah, a full spectrum. And how do they deliver these?
Through seminars, workshops, online courses, and one-on-one coaching. Pretty standard delivery methods.
But with a focus on, you said, alternative medicine and energy healing?
Definitely. They highlight those alongside personalized support as key parts of how they work. It really reinforces that holistic idea.
Okay, so if someone's looking at this, how do they say they're different from, say, other coaches or therapists. They must distinguish themselves.
They do. They have a whole section on it. First up is the gender-centric approach.
Right, back to the masculine, feminine energies.
Exactly. They stress understanding the unique qualities of each is key for navigating life and relationships bigger.
So it's fundamental to their practical advice.
Seems like it. And they bring back that directed energy flow idea, masculine to feminine, as vital for energy realization.
They're consistent on that point. Do they elaborate on whether one is better than the other?
They apparently clarify it doesn't imply superiority, but the directional flow itself is presented as a core principle.
Got it. What else makes them distinct?
The triadic human structure, that mind-soul-body thing we mentioned.
Okay.
What's interesting here is they kind of acknowledge we might not fully understand it all yet. They position themselves as being on a journey of discovery, too.
So presenting themselves as explorers in this area, not just having all the answers already.
Yeah.
That's refreshingly honest, maybe.
Could be. Then there's the holistic healing focus, really prioritizing physical, emotional, spiritual well-being together, using alternative medicine, energy work.
Right. Integration.
Personalized support, recognizing everyone's unique tailoring guidance.
Standard, but important.
And empowerment through self-discovery. The goal is helping clients gain self-awareness to take control.
Makes sense. Empowering the individual.
And then there's the tech angle again, utilizing AI.
Okay, how? Chatbots. Virtual assistants.
Yeah, they mention things like that. Exploring how AI can optimize their support systems. It's still a bit vague, but it's clearly part of their plan.
It's definitely a point of difference trying to mesh AI with this kind of deeply personal work.
For sure. And linked to that is global accessibility, using online platforms to reach anyone, anywhere.
The online model.
And finally, they loop back to careers, specifically addressing personal career paths, helping align work with life purpose.
So really trying to connect the inner work with the outer world, including your job.
That seems to be the idea.
Okay. And organizationally, who's running the show?
It's still led by the founders, Andre and Amy Coben. They've built a team apparently with expertise in both holistic healing and AI.
The blend again.
Yeah.
Have they launched anything concrete?
They mentioned launching an Open Heart series, starting with something called Open Heart the Meeting.
A program or book series, maybe?
Sounds like it. And they do mention client testimonials, people reporting benefits in career advancement and general well-being.
So some evidence of impact, at least anecdotally.
Yeah, suggests their approach resonates with some people.
And their reach. You mentioned global accessibility.
They reiterate that serving clients internationally, online, across different professions, different cultures.
So it's not just a niche Swiss thing. They're aiming wider.
Definitely. And they're building an online community, too, using YouTube, other platforms to share knowledge, build a space.
Community building. Makes sense for this kind of work. What about the future? Where do they see this going?
They talk about innovation in services, constantly refining things based on new research, insights, tailoring it more.
Continuous improvement.
Then technological advancements, investing more in digital platforms, AI tools. They even mention things like VR meditations or data-driven plans.
VR meditations.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, really leaning into the tech
They
side.
seem so. Also, expanding global reach via a more robust online community platform.
Connecting their users.
And research and development. Collaborating with experts maybe in neuroscience or energy healing to deepen their work.
Trying to ground it more, perhaps?
Could be. They also mention sustainable practices, encouraging mindfulness in clients' lives, sort of beyond the sessions.
A broader lifestyle approach.
And ultimately, they're aiming for a big cultural impact.
How so?
Hoping to change how people think about personal growth, relationships, holistic health, and this whole integration of tech and traditional healing.
So they have very high aspirations for their influence.
It seems that way. And finally, that Holistic Solutions webpage kind of pulls it all together.
How does it frame things?
It calls their approach unique and authentic for dealing with a whole range of challenges. Family conflicts, relationship problems, psychological stuff like depression, burnout, motivation issues, even financial instability and physical symptoms.
A wide net. What's the core message there?
They really hammer home the idea that relationships are central, key to personal power, but also where many challenges lie.
Relationships as the linchpin.
Yeah, and they use this analogy, life as an interconnected puzzle. Their role, as they see it, is helping you realign the pieces so everything works together smoothly, holistically.
Nice analogy. ties it all together.
So, yeah, summing it up, Open Your Heart GmbH. It's this model built on masculine, feminine energy dynamics, the mind-body-soul connection, and a really notable commitment to using tech, especially AI, to deliver it globally.
Quite a package.
Yeah.
The blend of ancient philosophy, specific gender energy ideas, and cutting-edge tech is definitely distinctive.
It really is. So reflecting on all this, what really jumps out at you? I mean, how does this specific focus on fixed masculine and feminine energies sit with, well, how you might typically think about personal growth?
That's the core question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Particularly their assertion about gender being the unchangeable essence of the soul. It really makes you think. How does that specific viewpoint interact with all the ongoing, very dynamic conversations we have today about identity, about gender, about self-discovery?
It's probably the most provocative element of their framework, something for you, the listener, to really consider when evaluating their whole approach and what it might mean.